My name is Franklin Stafford Sr. I am retired from my business. I have owned and operated over the past 40 years, including 12 years as an undercover agent for the FBI. Corruption in the justice system began for me over 40 years ago in northern Idaho. My bar with all my equipment and inventory was taken from me, and I was told that if I didn't forget it, I would end up dead. The last corruption against me started in 1997 in Canyon County. At the time, I was diagnosed with heart problems and given a year to live. The corruption against me began when I came home from vacation to find my fence cut, my cattle let out, and my irrigation ditch filled in and cemented off. For the next 14 years, I became the victim of judicial corruption, government corruption, law enforcement, and legal corruption, all the way through Ninth Circuit Court, while the judges and lawyers covered up for each other. Max Weaver had just bought the property next to mine for the purpose of developing a multi-million-dollar low-income housing subdivision. Randy Farber had already embezzled Lot 16 of the Hawaii Village subdivision adjoining property. Judge Morfitt's wife, Jane Moore, was involved in developing and selling the adjoining property at a profit of $2.4 million plus $425,000 federal grant money. In order for them to do this, the city of Caldwell and Canyon County ordered them to pick up my water and pipe it downstream. To subdivide his property, Weaver needed 17 feet of my land to make a road and do their project. Instead of moving my water, they filled and cemented ditch, then lied to the prosecuting attorney, saying I removed the survey stakes. I hired a surveyor and a geologist to prove where the ditches had been for 40 years. 3 separate surveys agreed that I was at least 10.65 feet on my own property. Morford had ordered me to run my water 3.6 feet uphill in an open ditch. For 4 months, I could not get an answer from the prosecuting attorney as to why my irrigation ditch was still filled in. On the 17th of February 1998, John Christian called me and told me they were going to dismiss the case against Weaver regardless of what he did to me. When I tried to open my ditch, I was issued a restraining order accusing me of trespassing on Weaver's land. Norm Young, the prosecutor's relative and personal friend, came to my home, slapped my face, stuck a gun in my face, and threatened to kill me for causing Weaver problems. The sheriff would not take statement from any of the 5 witnesses or filed charges against Young. June 18, 1999, I filed a show cause motion to show that Judge Morfitt had found me guilty of trespassing on my own property and damaging Max Weaver's property, Lot 16, and fined me $5,000 payable to Weaver and $8,200 attorney fees to Randy Farber, the Hawaii Village Incorporated. Neither he or Weaver actually owned Lot 16. Furthermore, Farber represents himself and is not eligible for attorney fees. Morfitt ordered the sale of my 1966 Mustang convertible in violation of Idaho law. To justify this, Morfitt claimed I dug my ditch under malice. He then told Larry Serhall, my attorney, that if he didn't shut me down, he would not practice in the whole state of Idaho. I owed Serhall $32,000. Morfitt awarded $5,000 more to Serhall, saying it was to pay the money that I had already paid to the surveyors. Morfitt ordered my home to be sold at a sheriff's sale, denying me my homestead exemption, other violations of my constitutional rights. I bid on my own house, got it for $60,000, and gave the check to the sheriff's department. Instead of the money agreed upon, Serhall took it all except $1,900, saying the rest was interest. I filed a motion then to disqualify Judge Morrison because of conflict of interest and a show motion to question why I still not have my water nor the property. This was to be heard on the 19th day of June 1999. Instead, they heard it on the 18th without notifying me of the change date, another violation of my constitutional right. Judge Morfitt sanctioned me $1,500 and issued an injunction order to bar me from filing any pleadings in the entire state of Idaho without his permission, nor be represented by any person or agent without his permission, another violation of my rights. In 2005, Weaver filed trespass charges against me on my own land. I filed an answer to a counterclaim. Judge Morfitt sanctioned me another $1,500 and put me in jail for 5 days for contempt of court for filing pleadings without his permission. Then he dismissed the case without a hearing. 2 more violations against my constitutional right. My next move was to file an appeal in the Idaho Supreme Court. My case came up to Judge Gerderez, who had been dismissed in district court because of personal interest. This time he went ahead and ruled in Judge Morfitt's favor by ruling no written opinion or authority of law. He should have disqualify himself as he's done in district court. When I filed case number 08378 BLW, I was life-flighted to Seattle VA hospital with congestive heart failure. I was granted extension, but Judge Wilmot came out of federal district court and dismissed 18 of the 20 defendants without a hearing. Another violation. Upon my release from the hospital, I filed a motion to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to reinstate the 18. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals granted me the right to bring the 18 defendants back into court to be heard. At this point, I waited to be notified of ruling of the case. That was in 2010. In April 2012, I received my first order of mandate stating that no Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal judge wanted to hear my case, that it was dismissed and I could not file any more pleadings with the Ninth Circuit Court. As of now, 15 years later, I am still without my water nor the metes and bounds of my deed, as was ordered by the 3rd District Court of Idaho and the Idaho Supreme Court. I am still without my home, a classic car, and over $200,000 fighting for my rights. I have suffered cancer, severe heart attacks, and onset of diabetes because of stress caused by this corruption and complete lack of justice and integrity. No one will enforce the court order or the Idaho law.